Dr. Noel Liu here. I'm a general dentist based here in Peoria, Illinois. And today I have the honor to be on this podcast with Dr. Liu here and just going over some of the aspects of dentistry and what I've been going through. So like many of you who are starting off, I have the same journey, and I just wanted to share exactly what I went through so that if I can provide some sort of help or some nuggets there for anybody coming up as an entrepreneur or maybe even a brand new associate dentist, it would be an honor, and I think I would have done my job.
Excellent.
So,
I'm able to do it now, so let me just.
Okay, perfect. I will let you take over, Doc.
Yeah,
I'm going to stop here.
Okay, guys. So just really quickly before we jump into our podcast, I just want to announce you that in Santa Clara County, this Fridays, Saturday, and Sunday, we have a nonprofit event where we serve homeless and underserved people, and we are partnership with from Healing, California. We are partnership with Santa Clara Dental Foundation this weekend and serve people. So who we are a nonprofit organization. I'm on the board, and I'm trying to promote Healing, California, and recruit professional dentists, surgeon, hygienists, volunteer dental assistant to come help us. As you can see that over the year we served more than 80 clinics, and we have served more than 5,000 people. And we have 5,000 dental patients and 5,000 vision patients. And the cost that we spend and the value was about $4 million already that we've been spending and also using create the value for the service that we provide. We have more than 1,000 volunteers consistently help us from North to South California. We have given 8,000 plus pair of glasses for people. We serve a lot of homeless people, and so that is part of why we do it. I just want to show you one of the statistics numbers. It's gonna shock you really well, because people don't realize that we have so much need in the in California. So in each year there's about 81,000 people come to a hospital for dental emergency, and it's more than a diabetic scenario. But so 80,000 people just show up in the emergency room for dental related. And right in California we have 3.49 million people that lack of dental basic and vision care. And as far as the veteran, we have 10,000 plus veteran experience homelessness. And so our solution is we're going to provide free dental care. How do we do that? We partner with the doctor, dentist, and also community-based partner from different organizations locally. And we have the mobile van. So we help take care of people, everything free. We don't use the insurance or anything like that. So that's why we're doing it. So an opportunity for people around the California, as far as any partner that you want to partner with Healing California, we partner with so many organizations, and I just want to show you here. And it's really, we even partner with Western University to bring the dental student to help whenever we have the event close to Western University in Southern California. In Bay Area, one of the organizations that I'm helping also is Healing Group Health Center. And it's kind of unique that you're able to help the local people, and also you help an organization that is service the whole entire California. So I'm part of this organization. I'm just wanted to share this and hopefully that people, big organization that you want to partner, you can be a donor. You can support us. Very simple, very quick click. You can actually send your support through this. So Dr. Liu, I'm sorry to bother you, but I just want to have an opportunity to share this, and hopefully you one
I
day
love it.
use this
I love it.
at the partnership as well. So thank you again, and just stop and just continue our channel today.
I love what you're doing. No, I would definitely would like to be a part of that for sure. Absolutely. What you're doing is so generous.
Yeah, I mean, no, this is just a big team, right? So without a big
Yeah.
team, like without a dentist like you or me, we cannot be doing anything. So it's the whole entire big team. We have a few people, dentists on our group that are part of the board of advisor, and we help you
Mm.
to run this.
You know what when I was looking at that slide that you just showed, I mean, it just kind of struck my head about Tony Robbins. He said that, you know, the secret to living is giving. And this is so huge what you're doing, because people don't understand when you start helping, you know, like from the heart, and you start giving, it just comes back tenfold. I mean, you're not doing it for the return, but it just comes back, and that's just the way it works.
Absolutely,
So,
I agree. It's the secret of living.
yes.
Because we think about it, a lot of people don't realize that, you know, as we talk right now, we could be in our 40, 50, but let's say maximum we're gonna live another 50 years from now, and all that our legacy is gonna be disappear. So the only legacy that left behind is how much we give out, and so it's not like how much we take in, but how much we give out, because we cannot take those money to our grave.
Correct.
So that's the
Correct.
mentality that, you know, I see that, you know, we have to look at a bigger picture. What can we give back to the community, or what can we build a legacy for our children when they look at that, and you know, see what daddy can do, you know.
Right, absolutely. You know, and that is one of the reasons why, you know, we have this organization for ours, and you are a dentist, and you worked in like as a director for a big corporation and DSOs, right? So you understand the power behind it. Is one of those things that is really true and dear to my heart. Is how do I scale the business? How do I scale everybody to make it grow so that we can do more, right? We can do more for the community. We can do more for organization like yours. We can do more for charity. I mean, these are all the things that helps us grasp us to the bottom of the roots there. Because at the end of the day, I mean, if we are scaling and we're growing, it's not just to accumulate a lot of money and just sit on it. I mean, we want to do something with it. And what you're doing, I mean, I love it.
I know that you also do a lot amazing things. So let's talk about
yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Your organization. We have Secure Dental and also Denvia. I know both of the company doing really well. And Doc, please share with us, how did you start with Denvia, or maybe Secure? Which one went first?
So Secure Dental is like our bread and butter. This is our main business. And I always say our main thing is our main thing. So this is a general practice, a general dentistry practice that my wife and we founded back in 2012. And that's where we opened up our first location. I always had a passion for dentistry. And that's where, when we started it up, I mean, we had a lot of struggles and up and down. And being an entrepreneur is like you're wearing all the hats in a dental office. So when we are starting off, any dentist starts off, right? We are so tuned to getting the perfect class 2 cavity or the crown prep or the root canal. But little do we know about the business aspect. And that's where I think we suffered quite a bit. When we started growing and scaling, we just had this one goal and one vision that we want to scale, and we want to scale so that we can make the pie bigger for everybody. And for us at that time, as a growing organization, we always had the thing where, how can I help more people help themselves? And we never understood the aspect that we need to invest in people. At first, initially, we were always thinking the other way around, where we were investing in the business, but not the people. And we were having lots and ups and downs, and we weren't sure what was happening. Little did we know about leadership. Little did we know about business, finances, P&L statement. I mean, we had no clue. So that's where I feel like, you know, when you start this journey, it's very, very important that we start investing in our own education, in our own mindset, in our own, you know, thought process. Because at the end of the day, being an entrepreneur is like being emotionally involved. And you have to be like really, really strong emotionally, because it's like a roller coaster ride. One day you're really high up, the other day you're down, and you don't know what's happening, right? So for us to feel, we felt like, hey, we need to grow this organization. And that's where we started investing in our people. The people is the key to any successful business. Once anybody understands that aspect, I mean, I think there's no stoppage, because the people will actually take it and run for you without you being there. And that's the whole reason behind opening up a business, right? I mean, you want it to be delegated so that you don't have to put in so much work and effort as the business matures. So that's when Secure Dental was formed. Right now, currently, long story short, we have about 11 locations, and we have about 16 to 18 doctors that works alongside us. Believe it or not, Doc, I'm still in the trenches. I'm still working clinical. I'm still doing clinical dentistry. I'm still doing LD admin. My wife helps me out quite a bit. And within the last few years, we felt this shortage. And I believe that a lot of people are going through this with staffing, with having like the front desk, or with having people come and people go in. So what I felt was like, we need to start thinking about how do we take that issue and how do we take it in our own hands. So we went the virtual route where we have VAs. Now, there is a lot of companies out there that can provide this service. And there's a lot of companies out there who are actually direct competitors of ours, right? But when we started Denvia, which was after Secure Dental, like way after, because of the shortage that I felt, I wanted to make sure that I have full control of the team, that I have full access to the team, because security and HIPAA was really on top of my mind. And I wanted to make sure like these team guys were really accountable for what they were doing, because eventually they were, interacting with our patients. So that pain point from the shortage got us to form Denvia.
Go ahead. Don't worry. I think I shared the wrong one. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So that's how Denvia was formed. Right now, we are about like almost 50 agents out there. We're trying to grow them. Majority of our agents are doing like all outside, and we do have our agents doing our internal team as well. So what Denvia is just supercharges the front desk for us. So now what's happening is, as a result, my front desk is more patient focused. They're more patient oriented. They can actually pay attention to what's going on. They don't have to worry about breakdowns. They don't have to worry about any kind of eligibility or leave calls. So those are all the back-end stuff that has been taken care of by the team. And I love about the fact that they're always constantly on WhatsApp, or they're on Zoom, like how you and we are, and they're like constantly interacting as if like that team member was right there in-house. So that's where we got Denvia. And my passion is dentistry and mentoring my associate doctors.
Would you mind to show us the website of either Secure Dental or the Denvia, and give us some your vision for the doctor, that associate doctor that work for your company, and what do you set the goal for, and how you can help them?
So let's start with this here. Okay, so our whole thing is, how do we mentor the doctors, onboard them, bring them into our organization, and basically taking them mainly from being a student, because they just finished D4. Majority of our doctors are from dental school. So taking them from student and becoming super GPs. So when I say super GPs, my definition of super GPs is they're able to do most of the procedures out there, like molar endos, second premolar endos. We are talking about like multiple preps, aesthetic cases. Then my three favorite ones are clear aligners, implants. And implants, we're not just talking about one implant, but we're talking about full arches, and how to be better surgeons. And of course, and the last one is sleep medicine. So those are some of the aspects that I'm really proud of and I really thrive on. Again, it's all in the belief system. It's all in the leadership skills that I had to spend years through painstaking process to develop myself into being better, in mentoring and better in their growth. The last one you're looking here is investments. I'm just going to briefly touch on that. Is besides doing dentistry and besides helping my associates grow, my third aspect is investments, which is into real estate. I help my dentists. I help a lot of different dentists from our organization as well as from outside to help them guide through syndication into real estate so that they can get like some sort of passive income coming in and ultimately get the financial freedoms to replace their active income. So with that being said, there are three aspects how we grow with real estate investment is number one is cash flow. It's tax depreciation. And the third one is depreciation of the asset when we exit in about 5 years.
Dr. Liu, would you say next slide, or you still on the first slide?
I'm still on the first slide. I was just kind of briefly touching back on some of the stuff.
Got it.
Yeah, so just talk about a little bit about myself here. Graduated in 2007 from NYU College of Dentistry. We founded our location in Peoria in 2012. Right now, we are by 11 locations. So mentoring is still my passion. And all we talk about is 80% psychological, which is the mindset and the belief led. Because ultimately, what I believe from our own associates is they got to believe in themselves. I mean, that's the only way they can start achieving a lot of things. Once when the belief rate goes up, they automatically, everything else goes up. In school and in a lot of universities, we are focused mainly on the 20%, the technical aspect. But from what I have been seeing and what I have been so successful at is 80% of it is psychological. So guiding our associate dentists from student to clinicians, and this one is really, really important for me here. Model, mimic, and mastery. Doc, here's the thing that I always ask a lot of people. It's what is one thing they've mastered? And a lot of people have many answers. They've mastered a lot of things. But the issue comes is how many people have they trained with that mastery? And that's where a lot of people they go blank. That was including myself. Mm-hmm. So for me to scale and expand, I cannot keep all the secrets to myself. So that is where I help my associates become, model it out, let them mimic it. And now it's time to master it. Because eventually I want to be out of the chair, right? Absolutely. And that's where the whole thing that, I truly, truly believe this in any business, I would say, is how do you train somebody else to take your position? Because you always want to create at least 3 to 5 of you to take over. And how do we keep them motivated? Personal, professional, and financial goals. And this is something which is really dear and true to my heart is if I can help them achieve their personal goal, achieve their professional goal, and the financial goals, they will in turn help get the patients, take care of them. They will take care of the organization, they will take care of the staff, and they'll take care of me. So it kind of goes both ways. And that is a true win-win situation where we help them to help us.
Whoever works for your company is lucky because you guide them with this roadmap here. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the employee maturity model, right? I mean, once they come in, what are the goals and where do they want to be in 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years? Whether they want to partner with us, they want to affiliate with us, they want to open up their own office, they want to work another job. I mean, any form of exit, I kind of help them and support them.
Sure.
So that is something where we have this conversation day one, so that we are not in any kind of surprise, like somebody's leaving. We're not in any kind of like in a bad, bad relationship where these guys just went and nobody knows what happened or they just quit all of a sudden, right? So I always like to keep a close pulse on my doctors and my team members. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of briefly touched on the co-founder of being Denvia. Denvia is a virtual assistant arm, and real estate investment and acquisition. That's where I briefly spoke about investing in real estate and making the money work for you. Mm-hmm. So that is a little bit the QR code there. Anybody can scan that. You can definitely follow me on Instagram as well as Facebook.
Are you big in Instagram? Huh? I haven't. Wonderful. I'm glad you are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and
TikTok. I mean, and again, this is all not me because I would not know how to do all the stuff here. My team helps me, right? So that is how we like to work with everybody. So everyone is there for everyone.
Wonderful.
All right. So some of the personal investment, different years, different breakpoints, different, like I was telling you initially, roller coaster rides, right? I was overweight, unhealthy. I had blood pressure issues. I had problems with, I was almost borderline diabetes. And these are all the kind of stuff that comes with when you're stressed out.
Right.
And once when you're stressed out, it's what do you do? Do you tackle the symptom or do you tackle the cause? And luckily for me, when I started investing in my own self, when I say my own self is my own mindset, is when I got really disciplined and really focused on what I really, really want. And once when you know what you really, really want, I think a lot of things becomes pretty self-evident in how do you go about and getting things done. Because here's one thing that a lot of people, my mentors told me. I had actually, like all the big name mentors, both virtually as well as in person. And one thing that I learned was if you are not true to your own health and fitness, you're not true to your business. Because, if you cheat one thing, you will be cheating something else. So like how you do anything is how you do everything. And that really stuck in my head. And I think I took it out to my heart. And I've been like pretty disciplined since then.
That's wonderful. That's very, very true. Yep, I agree with you on that notion for sure.
Self-investment, investment in the team, investment in the business, anything that we make, we put it right back in the business. And this way we just keep expanding. We have more opportunities and everyone wins. So for our team, they love it because everybody has their own goals, their own financial goals. Everybody has their own KPIs that we have to hit. And professionally, they keep growing. So every single employee of ours have this maturity model that they can actually look at that roadmap and they can say, okay, I'm here today. I can be there next year. I can be there the year after. So it's a stepwise process. And the way we actually work with these guys are on our core values right here. So anytime we hire anybody is based on a core value. Anytime we review any of our employees is based on a core value. Anytime we take any action or disciplinary action is based on a core value. Anytime we reward our team members is based on our core values. So, I mean, if I keep it simple, everybody knows what the core value is and everybody knows how to be an A player, right? Because they can see it right there. I mean, it's right there in front of their eyes. If they can see it, they can visualize it, they can trace to become better at it. So that so far has worked out really, really well for us.
Excellent.
Right? Some of the team cultures. So, there are 5 aspects to any business, including dentistry. Number 1, I would say would be operations. Operations would be anything that we can think of, KPIs, SOPs, anything with like the bigger scale of thinking, right? You want to have certain procedures, you want to incorporate a lot of things. Those are all the operation side. The second important side would be the HR, where we are hiring, people and firing people. So I always learn, hire slow, fire fast. I'm sure everybody heard of that. As long as they understand what the culture is and we are basing it off the core value, the HR component becomes pretty simple because, we hire on attitude and we train them for results. It's not like, you just hire them because they have experience or they stay with us because of the experience or, their know-hows or the knowledge of certain things. For me, it's all about attitude. You have the right attitude, you fit in our culture, let's go. The third component is the people component. The people component is very important because once they're in, how do we onboard them, right? They take them from point A to point B to point C, and eventually they start, and then they have the reviews in 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. And that's where it becomes so important to get them acclimated in the culture. And how do you do that is just the energy. It's just help them win. And all we talk about on Wednesdays is just win. Like that's what we call it Wednesday. It's just talking about all the wins that happened last week. The fourth component would be our financial. So in any business, we need to talk about finances. We need to have quarterly goals. We need to have our monthly goals. We need to have per patient average goals. We need to have like per hour, how much is each doctor? What are the KPIs? I mean, those are all the stuff that we look at. So financials kind of like get mingled with operations because they are numbers, right? And financials, very important for me right now as an owner. Look at the P&L every single month, right? Check on the bank balances every single day. And that's what I think I got like more data driven this way. So we spoke about that. And then of course, marketing. Cannot neglect marketing. So that would be like the fifth aspect of a business. Marketing and what's that other one? And yeah, any kind of like, advertisement that we're doing. It can be social, it can be word, internal referral. And those are kind of things I would say it's like it encompasses the entire business. If we can look at all the aspects of the business together. And that is what I think you have like a winning formula when you start investing in people. For me, are my doctors. I personally sit down with my doctors one-on-one every single day, every single week. We have a Zoom call every single month. And of course, I go into all the offices just to make sure what they're doing, what they need help with, and get them the right training, the right equipment, the right staff, and all the whole 9 yards. So that's where I come in. That's where I like to spend my time with.
Beautiful.
So onboarding, very, very simple. Student to clinician, my main thing is model, mimic, mastery. Learn alongside experienced dentists, help and develop and grow and develop skills, and grow into individual practices. So what do we mean by that is, before they even start with us, there's a lot of books that are definitely strongly require them to do it. And they have to go through the entire, I think it's almost 10 titles that they have to go through. Again, all I'm doing is just working on the mindset. How do you get that attitude, that 10x attitude? How do you get that winning mindset? Once they achieve that part, now they're like primed in the head. When they come in, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to coach them. It's a lot easier to make them understand the why. And every single standard operating procedure that we have for them, it's all based on the whys. Like, why are we doing this? And then they understand as well, like, where are we coming from? So, excuse me. So that has really, really helped them mature them. And of course, our training with our implants. And recently, we just had last week, we just had a full-on implant training for our team of new doctors. I mean, these guys loved it, right? They had the didactic, then they had the online, then they had live surgery. And we partnered with Neodent Implants, and these guys actually helped us with entire education component, as well as all the facets of getting help if they need any. And me myself, being a full-on implant maniac myself, I love to help them and coach them, because at the end of the day, it's the value that we provide to these guys so that they can be better clinicians for us. But at the same time, it's a value. Once they're exposed, they cannot forget. So I call it the law of exposure. They'll actually take the skills with them anywhere they go. They just become more valuable, plain and simple. And that's the win that I feel that I'm achieving for these guys. Because if they have their own office, they have their own, private practice, or they'll go work somewhere else, they're just going to be more valuable to the organization or to themselves. And, we spoke about this again, EMM, employee maturity model. Again, they need to understand where they stand, where they need to be. Somebody will have more emphasis on professional goals. Somebody will have more emphasis on financial goals. And some may have more, emphasis on their personal development goals. All three goals, I think, is very, very important, because that is where these guys will put in their whole hard-earned effort in making sure the organization stays alive and the patients are well taken care of. For me, I cannot be in all the locations at the same time. And if I have to scale, this is the part right there to help them right there. And then, of course, how do we train these guys to train more doctors to help them? So in this way, now we have an army of people following the same protocol. Invest in yourself, invest in a team, and invest in a practice.
Beautiful.
So Doc, this is just a little brief overview of what we like to do and my passion.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a question. Let's say the young dentist about to graduate and looking for an opportunity in Chicago, and they want to
Yeah.
check out your organization. And how would you tell him or her that check this out, try us? Uh, there's competition out there, other DSO. Uh, what is
Yeah.
something that you can proudly share with us that you are so proud
Here's
to work with them?
oh, yeah, absolutely. Though that's a great question. Somebody coming out young, it depends what they want. For me, it's all about you got to have that winning and that hungry attitude, meaning like you want to be successful. I mean, it starts right here. For us, if that associate doctor coming out is really laid back and they are not really like hungry for success, they don't really want to pursue much in life, then we may not be the right choice. Okay.
Right.
Because for me personally, I like to train with my doctors one-on-one, and I think that is a huge time commitment for myself. So if I'm going to get a candidate, I need them to be on 100% committed to themselves first.
Right.
If they are, come on over, check us out, check out our culture. We will definitely, if they are in, I will make sure that they are definitely successful in a way that they will learn a lot more things than their colleagues in the first year, the second year, and the third year, and be more valuable anywhere they go. Because at the end of the day, like I'll give you one example. We just had this course, and my doctors, they just graduated last year from NYU. And right now, at this point in time, less than a year, they're placing implants with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're doing not the full arches, but they're doing singles and doubles. Mm-hmm. But when I asked them, how many of your friends are doing that in other organizations? And they told me none that they know of. So there may be people out there that are doing it, but not that they know of. And this has been happening year after year after year.
So you empower the doctor to provide a service that they feel comfortable and willing
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We just don't push them to do it. Everybody has a comfort zone. Somebody will like aesthetics more. Somebody will like endo more. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you just have to ask them, like, how bad you want it and what is it that you want from your professional goal. And if this is something that you're really looking for, let's go.
What are the technology that you're in your those locations that you have that allow the doctor to feel like this is the latest place that I want to use the technology? Can you share with us some of the technology you have?
I think I would call this technology pretty standard, like a cone beam CT.
That's the technology. That's powerful,
right? Digital radiograph, digital charting, and everything's cloud-based. I can basically open up any chart of a patient anywhere through my iPad, even if I'm traveling.
That's the technology. Yep, that's powerful.
Right? And then we got scanners, intraoral scanners, and then we have those scanners, and we have those.
What intraoral scanner do you guys use?
We use 3Shape. Okay. So all our offices have 3Shapes.
That's wonderful. So, and do you have like a managing dentist, or you are in charge of the whole organization?
Yeah, so I in my slide I had Dr. Shore there. He helps me with a lot of the training aspect on the implant side, but I am still like the guy who likes to be with them hands-on every single day. So I'm just a call away. So we have WhatsApp group for our doctors where everybody share cases. And then we have a WhatsApp group where these guys have any problems, any questions, they will just text somebody and somebody will answer. If I'm busy, somebody will answer.
Good. Right? That's good. That's like internal support.
I call it a mastermind. And now we formed another one with our implantologist from Neodent, Dr. Bruno. So we have one WhatsApp group just for that guy with our internal team of doctors, where anybody has any kind of questions with the case, before even at the planning stage, they can actually contact him and just get some insights. So the resources are there, which is why, I feel like the value proposition is pretty high. It's just that the candidate must understand they really want it.
Right. What about, let's say, especially female dentists, after they practicing for a while, having a children, right, and then, taking care of their own business, it could be difficult. Is this a place where your organization can be a place where they see can
absolutely. 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 At the same time, when the dentists mature to a certain level, they don't really have to do like day-to-day general dentistry the whole time. They can actually model out to be like the internal specialist. So if that female dentist wants to do, like, let's say they're really good with ortho and they want to do nothing but clear aligners, that could be their specialty. If they like the sleep medicine aspect, where all they're doing just sleep studies and just prescribe, those Panthera devices, that's their specialty. Or if they just want to do restorative dentistry, right? So I mean, anything
So
under the
basically,
umbrella of
you
dentistry.
empower the doctor to pick and choose what is their comfort zone, and you lead them,
Yeah.
help support them. That's wonderful.
Because a lot of times I get these questions from my colleagues is like, why do you train them so much? Why do you do this? Because eventually they're going to leave and all that stuff. And I'm like, listen, here's the thing. Everybody leaves, right? Everybody leaves, but let's leave for the right reason. And let's say if they don't leave and they're staying with me, let's make sure they're trained, right?
Yeah. Also, can you touch base a little bit about the investment part on the other podcasts? I know you talk a lot, you train a lot of doctors. In this, my podcast, a lot of my audience, they're probably not aware of your training. Give us some sense of, what are the, I know you do a lot of live stream for teaching the dentist. Give us a few wisdom and about, just how is that go about a passive income that can help the dentist?
Yeah, for sure. Passive income. So when we talk about passive income with real estate, and that is where my specialty comes, it's in multifamily. And when we talk about multifamily, we are talking about larger buildings, right? Where it's not one person buying the entire building. It's a team of people putting the deal together. So one person will find a deal. The other person will go ahead and underwrite the deal. When we say underwrite, meaning like doing all the numbers. So that's like the CP and the finance guy to make sure all the numbers make sense. Then we have another person who will be like the key person. So the key person or all the partners will be on the loan document for the bank, right? And the third person, and actually all of them will have to show liquidity and will have to show net worth of buying the property. And of course, when these teams come together, they have this deal. And what we do is we present the deal to our investors who wants to be truly passive. Now, when we talk about passive, in our dentistry and in our dental world and our physicians, the doctors, they think like buying a single family home or buying a duplex or quadplex, that's passive. Actually, that is not passive because you still have to go look for tenants. You still have to fix everything. There's still a management, right? When we talk about passive, I mean like, we can concentrate on our business because the way I know it is, that's how I started. I have a lot of opportunities that I'm a passive investor, and I mean completely passive. I don't even know who's collecting the rent, who's managing the property, who's doing all that stuff. Of course, we have due diligence stage where we actually see, exactly who is running the show. But when it's closed and you've invested and you're getting a returns, after that, you're not worried about it because, the returns keep coming. So that's one, which is called cash flow. So let's say you take 100,000, you invest it in a deal. And now that 100,000 will create, let's say 5 to 7% cash flow every single month, right? So you get that as part of it. The best part is a tax depreciation. So the tax depreciation is when the building is bought, there's something called cost segregation that we all perform. And anyone in real estate, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They'll take that and they depreciate the asset up to 40 to 50% of the value. In a sense that, hey, we got to change the siding of the building. We need to change the appliances in the units. We need to change carpets, windows, anything you name of. So they take that, and that is depreciated about 40%. Now think about it this way, Doc. We all put in about 35 to 40% down payment as equity for the bank, right? The bank financed 60%. So if we can devalue the property by 30 to 35 to 40%, that's almost 100% of depreciation. So any cash flow that is made on that property is no tax because on a K1 that we send out to our investors, it's a negative amount. So let's say they invested 100,000. The first year, they'll probably get about $69,000 or $70,000 worth of negative depreciation. The second year, they probably get 10,000. Then the third year, they probably get like 5,000, right? So you can depreciate almost like 90, 95% of the money invested. The key is how do you take that 100,000 and convert it over a period of 3 to 5 years and 2x the money. That's where I help my dentists here, my dental colleagues here, to take the 100,000 when we exit, along with the cash flow and the appreciation at the end of 3 to 5 years, to make that 100,000 into 200,000.
Do you have
That's
some class that you are teaching? You have a website that we can follow you? Can you share some?
We have, I do a lot of teaching all in our Facebook group.
Would you mind to share your website? I think a lot of my audience not familiar with your territory, so I would love to see your website, and that's way they can check you.
Yeah, I would. Definitely, I will just get this up. Sorry, I wasn't ready for this part yet.
I know.
But,
I'm just a little bit
multitasking, right?
But it's an honor to have you. I know that you help so many dentists on Facebook. Some of the dentists, they don't use Facebook, so they can use it. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Dentist, I see. Dentist
Dr. Passive Real Estate Investing Club, and we have about 7.5K members in there.
Got it.
Okay. And that is exactly the same picture right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. Sorry about the bad image there, but hey.
No, I saw it. We see it. So it's great.
Okay.
It's great. So before we close up, is there give us a few advice for especially young dentists who either consider themselves to open their practice or consider working for a company. There's a lot of competition out there, but we have to stand out and we have to show that our company is valued. So give us some some advice for the young dentists or some few year dentists out there, or even 10 years. Like, what are you looking for, and what do you want for your career pathway?
Yeah. So always look for a place where you can grow. That's number one, where there's growth phase, because at the end of the day, it's not only about the owner dentist who's having an associate position filled, because if that is the only thing that's being offered, I think, it's not a very good opportunity, because you also need to look out for yourself. Yes, monetary opportunity is there, but you also have to see that it's satisfying your other two aspects, which is the personal and the professional goal as well. And too many companies out there that I see that, they have these big bonuses, they have this huge, payouts. And a lot of people, they go for that, which is fine, nothing wrong with that, but need to understand where the limitation is. As for any young dentist, my biggest thing is always learn the value proposition first, because if you become valuable, and that is what you really dive in for the first few years, and you become so valuable that your worth automatically goes up. And I think that is like the biggest asset that anybody can go after. It's more about, like, in our real estate terms, we call it equity, right? And that is where everybody should start thinking in terms of that mindset, is how can that person going in an organization provide more value? So if I am going somewhere, if I need some help, if I have to do something personally, I will always think about the opportunity of what can I do for that person, or what I can do for that organization to help them get more valuable, because then if I can help solve the problem, I become more valuable. And I think if they start thinking in that terms and the other way around, success is just a matter of time. It has to happen. It has to happen.
One of the things that the associate dentists or who work for a big DSO, even in my own experience with friends who work for that, is that they spend, so some of the good heart doctor, they work so hard and love what they do. They spend years of taking care of DSO practice, and if they have some disagreement with the owner, boom, they gone, and they have no share, nothing left behind. All their investment, the strategy that they spend and take care of the patient or even take care of the office is gone. So can you give us some sense that, how can you distinguish your company differently? Or let's say, can they reach out to you directly, talk to you? Or
Absolutely, because with all my doctors, I'm the person of contact that they can reach out to. Now, I give another analogy of real estate. It's like location, right? You can never, ever defeat location, because if the location is bad, no matter what you do in that that deal or in that complex, you cannot change it, right? The same thing with the opportunities. So one must understand what they're getting into. That's number one. Number two is, a lot of the forums that I've been reading these days, it's a lot of people, they're looking for partnerships with the dentist owner, or they're looking for buy-in, or they're looking for some sort of, taking over. I personally feel that it's a wrong idea, because that associate needs to go in there first, check it out for themselves to see if they are a right fit, if the owner's a right fit, because it's like marriage, right? You cannot just say that, hey, I'm going to go to this practice and I want to buy an option without knowing who the dentist is or how they're going to work or what their personality is and character is. So I think it's very important that people need to understand, like when they're going in there, it's like dating at first. You need to understand you can never find out what the owner dentist is going to be like. Same thing for me. I can never find out what my associate dentist will be like till they start working. I mean, that is just, the truth, the nature of the beast.
So at least you gave them a chance to, when during the interview process or during the get to know, you have a chance to meet one-on-one and set up the goal and the expectation for the associate and for your company. So it's wonderful to be able to do that. A lot of time, with a big DSO, you come in yes or no. Here's the position available, and the manager somehow talk to the doctor, and boom, yes or no, sign up.
That's it. That's it. There is no owner interaction. Nobody knows what's going on, and but here's the thing. At the end of the day, too, like big DSOs, they have their place in the industry, and I feel like they have more leverage. They have more power in a sense that they can offer you more. But I would say at the end, it's still that individual associate. They need to take advantage of what's being offered and just be valuable in that particular practice or in that particular situation. But before saying yes to any kind of partnership or any of that stuff, get a feel for it first.
Excellent. Okay, that's a good point. I mean, I see that every place have its fair share game, and it's just a matter of our decision making and how far we want to go and all of that. With that said, Dr. Noel Liu, thank you so much for you to join us, spend time. I'm sure we're gonna come back with some more detail with investment, and especially the third company, the company that we haven't talked much is the Denvia. That something that I like to see how it can help support people around the state.
Yeah, it's a service that we provide. The virtual assistant is for any dental office, and they are trained with dental terms. Definitely look us up, www.denvia.com, or even with my Noel Liu DDS.com, you can find Denvia there as well. So it's just another avenue, another aspect, another mindset, how you think about your team members, so they can really assist you with being virtual. So that is one aspect you guys should definitely look into.
Doc, thank you. It's an honor again to share the platform with you today. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Take care.